Just Be a Man. Each podcast, we offer commentary from a man's perspective on a range of meaningful topics, such as our world, family, relationships, sex, and much, much more. Our purpose is to impart wisdom to our audience through meaningful and transparent conversation. This program is hosted by 5 brothers from other mothers who have been friends for over 30 years and collectively have over 250 years of experience.
Hey everybody, and welcome to Just Be a Man podcast. I'm Chuck. I'm your host this week, and this is where we talk about anything and everything related to men's issues. Well, we thought it would be beneficial if we start from the beginning, because a lot of you guys don't know us, so we're going to introduce ourselves to you. We are 5 lifelong friends that came together. About 30 years ago, right? It's myself, Chuck, my brother Charles, my other brother Wayne, my other brother Mike, and my other brother Stefan. I don't want to say it started with me. It started with me and Charles. Charles and I met in high school, and from the time we met, it was a core group of us. It was me and a couple other guys, but me and Charles are the ones that really clicked, and we just hit it off right away, and we've been friends ever since. And then what say you, Charles? Do you remember when we first met?
Because I was the only one that would follow you around Silver Spring with a 35 millimeter camera because you wanted to be a rapper.
Wow. Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that story.
Yeah, me either. You had me in charge of your photo shoot, and this bastard would introduce me to some females talking about, "Hi, I'm Chuck. This is Charles. I'm his hero." And I'm like, "You bastard. You bet." But the thing that really drew me to Chuck, truth be told, now Chuck's stepmother, she was kind of fine. So I would go to Chuck's house. I would ring the doorbell, and I was like, "Is Chuck on?" And she'd be like, "Yeah." And I'd be like, "Damn." You know how you had that fantasy as a little kid, you go to the door, I'm like, no, he's not home, but come on in. I'm just right up there,
Oh, not the Miss Parker story.
She was doing laundry.
Not the Miss Parker. Hey, Miss Parker.
Come on now.
Nah. But she was bringing it back in the day. I'm telling you.
Oh my God.
Let me tell you, I Chuck and I, we hit it off immediately. Yeah, he did have me as his photographer. But that year, I went to freshman orientation for Morgan State University, and I met this dude named Mike who was off the freaking chain. Let me tell you,
and still is.
I didn't even care. I didn't even care what the curriculum was at Morgan State University. I had so much fun with this dude over the course of that week. I was like, I'm going back to Morgan. I don't care what the curriculum is. I knew I was going to Morgan State University because that dude, man, he was mixing drinks. He was the man at freshman orientation. I'm telling you.
All right.
I was fast.
Yeah. And so Mike, is that how you recall meeting Charles?
Yes, freshman orientation. I saw Cool Chill Smooth over there, and myself. So Smooth brothers running flocks. So we knew each other. We looked over there and then we connected. We started talking, and then we started surveying. The rest of the flock. We were like shepherds looking at the flock out there. Like, okay. And we were looking out. We were talking about orientation, whatever. But it wasn't just me. I think Charles liked what we were looking at. So he knew we had potential, for the upcoming year. And we just clicked. I mean, I think him coming from DC, me coming from Connecticut, we just clicked because we had things in common and we were from 2 different places, and I think it all evolved from there. And like I said, it started to become, a friend connection from that time.
Okay. So who was next into the mix?
I think it was Wayne, wasn't it?
Well, if I remember correctly, I was introduced to Mike because of some shortcomings that he had as a roommate.
Dude.
Did I say short? But no, seriously. So we met at freshman year and in the dorms, Cummings Hall, Morgan State, and Mike. I didn't even really know Mike at the beginning. I was one of those dudes. I was at the end of the hall. Somehow I lucked up and got my own room. Everybody had a roommate except me.
And you had
And
I don't know,
nobody
we
knew.
don't talk
And
about that
nobody
yet.
knew it all either. Wayne had his own room. Nobody knew.
Yeah.
We thought he had a roommate.
Yeah, I was trying to keep it low, right? So Mike got into some beef with his roommate and Braxton, the RA. He knew that he knew that I didn't have a roommate, and he bring this troublemaker to me.
No.
Like,
Listen, man. Listen. I
No. You know what? It was no. I'm sorry. I'm only playing. That wasn't a trouble. It wasn't just. It was Dave. It was Braxton and Dave. Ain't that right? They both came.
Yeah, but listen.
And
Listen, man. I wasn't a troublemaker. When I first moved into the dorm, I moved in. I had my little Sears refrigerator. You know, my little half refrigerator, whatever. And I had it filled with oodles and noodles and Coca-Cola. So I had to go check in somewhere in the office and get some paperwork. I come back and there was this dude in there named, I forgot his name, Fritz or something, but he had opened up my refrigerator and not only did he partake in a soda, in a beverage, but he passed it on to him and his brother. So I knew the ratio was off. The ratio was 3-1. So I knew I couldn't win this one. So I went into action. I said, okay. I said, I'm going to wait. I'll be waiting. You drink, and I'll be waiting for you. And when they were done and they left, that's when I addressed the issue when it was a 1-to-1 situation. And I guess he didn't like, the way I was flowing with my words. And he said something, I said something, and next thing you know, he got a little piece of the knuckle sandwich.
Nah. You came first. You were like, Charles, man, these New York brothers, man, you got to keep them off me. Make sure they don't jump me. So I came over there. I watched the door while you whooped your roommate's ass.
No.
That's what happened.
No, wait.
No. Fritz is the first one.
was the
You talking about?
How many roommates did you have?
I'm telling you, this cat is crazy. No,
it
but I remember that. But Mike, you know what though? That time you was right across the hall.
Yeah.
That was right across the hall with Fritz.
Listen,
Yeah, I remember that.
I was just misunderstood until I found the right type of brothers that could handle me, and this is where we at right now. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus.
All right. So
Yeah.
Mike, the end result was you got kicked out of that room.
Yes, I got kicked out of the room, and that's when Charles had some eligibility, and they moved me in with Charles. Charles was my first rescue parachute.
Nah, I thought you put Wayne first.
No.
Yeah, because Charles was with Todd. Come on, Mike.
That's right. That's right. You know what? That is true. So you're right. So they bumped me with Wayne, and that's when we started Enterprise. That's when we started, Wayne Thickpin Enterprises, where we was selling out phone time for 25 cents when the phone calls really 10 cents. And that's how we.
It didn't matter. It didn't matter. Nobody paid.
No. Everybody had IOUs. We had a drawer full of IOUs. Listen, we had so many IOUs we could have made some parade confetti from it. That's how many IOUs we had.
Bananas.
All right, so now you guys. All right, so now you've moved in with. You're at Wayne at this point, or you with Charles?
Yeah, Wayne.
Yeah. So let me move it from here, right? So then, so now when I met Charles through Mike, obviously, right? Because they was already cool, and then me and Mike was roommates for a little while, and everybody had their meal plan, but every Saturday morning, somebody would disappear.
Yeah.
Like, nah, I'm good. I don't need to go to breakfast today.
Hell.
And I'd be like, all right. And then I was going down to get something to eat.
Right.
Then I come back. He was back. He was good. He ain't say nothing. That went on for a little while. And then one time, noticed that I don't remember exactly how it happened, but he's like, yo, I be eating pancakes on Saturday mornings. I said, what?
Just out the blue?
Yeah, it was kind of random. He was like, yo. And then I was like, what you mean? And he was like, yo, I'm gonna introduce you. He said, yo, next Saturday I'm gonna bring you down. And then I remember
it's called roommate guilt.
Yo, so we was on the third floor, so we went down to the second floor, knock on the door, and Mike go in, and then I see Steph looking at me with his eyes like, who the hell is this motherfucker?
Exactly. Exactly.
He's like, I don't believe you brought somebody with you.
Yes.
Because
Hey, so,
I think,
Or not.
so
yeah, no, I think Steph, like his roommate was local and would go home every weekend or something.
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Hey, so Stefan, how
Yes,
did it feel being Mike's guilty little secret?
Oh, I felt used. I felt used.
Oh man, no.
I
He was
mean,
appreciated. Yo, I said thank you every time I left Steph. I said, yo, man, good luck.
oh,
Man.
absolutely. Yeah, because I'm a Fiji.
Yeah.
I don't know how Mike found out that I was even cooking.
Because you
You know,
used Crisco. It was the way you poured the Crisco. I could hear the sizzling of the pan. And when you got issues like I do when it comes to food, you know the sizzle, and you use the raw Crisco.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
the
Well,
one.
I'm assuming all this took place in the dorm.
Yeah,
So
because Steph
I mean,
was
the
two
dorms
people.
are pretty small. So I'm assuming maybe the word got out or somebody ratted you out.
No,
It never got too big, but
exactly. As a matter of
Nah.
fact, I had one of those hot plates.
Because I didn't know about it until like the second part of the year, the second semester, when
Mhm.
Mike was rooming with me. So they kept that secret for a long time.
Hey man,
All right. So
hey man, I was a guest. I wasn't giving it up.
look, I want to fast forward real quick. So you guys you've all met, okay?
Right.
So at some point, didn't you guys move off campus?
So we only spent 1 year on Morgan's campus,
Well,
right?
okay.
All of us was there for 1 year.
That's correct.
Okay. All right. And so I remember Charles called me because that was that the next year, right?
Next year,
Yeah.
yeah, because I
Okay.
was here for my freshman year.
Okay. So then that next year for me, that's when I was at Howard. So Charles called me and was like, "Hey man, I think was it Morgan's homecoming?"
August homecoming, yes sir.
So we can't. So all right. So I'm working at J.C. Penney, and I'm working there because my man Charles got me the job. Right. So I mean, what else could be better? You're working with your boy, you're making money, and quite frankly, look, we was the two dudes in the shoe department. So the shoe department was hot. The shoe department was happy.
Yes,
All right. So we selling shoes, but every 5 minutes we look up and somebody from the women's section over there trying to, hey, so y'all selling shoes?
Mhm,
What
mhm.
you think we doing? We the shoe department. That's what we do. But anyway, so Charles says, hey, look, man, Morgan's homecoming, come on down. So I come down, and man, one of the best weekends of my life. To the point, I don't want to go back. Right? So I mean, I think probably what we get down there Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I mean, did we sleep? I don't even remember.
not that much.
Right. So I call my employer that morning. Hello. Everybody in the background trying to hold their laugh or whatever. Yeah. This is Chuck. I came down with something. I don't think I'm gonna be able to make it, but I can make it tomorrow. But I mean, I can't make it today, so I'm not gonna come in. Okay. Well, look here. Yeah, we'll just mail you your last check. So you ain't got to worry about coming back ever. We just gonna mail you a last check. And you know what? I wasn't even tripping, man. We got on the phone. We laughed. Okay, I was upset for about a second, but we was having too much fun, man. So that's one of the things I remember about you guys when you moved off campus, man. And I think that's when like the first. That's when we all really came together, isn't it?
Yeah.
For the first time.
Yeah.
Yep.
That was the
And,
first weekend.
and look, from that point, the Jones sessions have been epic, and to just to attest to the chemistry.
Bruh.
These guys, for our listeners, I got married in 1990. So I want to say that particular homecoming had to be at least 87, 88.
It was 86.
Yeah.
88. No, it wasn't 86 because 86. I was still on the yard.
Yeah. Okay, so what, 87?
Either 87 or 88.
No. We're talking about sophomore year.
Yeah, sophomore year.
So
That's when
so we
I met y'all.
so we
When Chuck did
Yeah.
that, we were on Peabody Court because I videotaped it. while he was
No. But we had met Chuck before then.
right. Absolutely.
I think yeah, we probably hung out or whatever, but we didn't really gel until it was like overnight Jones sessions and stuff
Yeah,
like that. And that was I think that was then. But from that point to what I was trying to get across to the our listeners is we've pretty much been inseparable in terms of friendship.
right.
To the point, and the reason I was throwing dates out there because in 1990s when I got married, and to tell you how quickly we gelled and formed this bond, all of these guys were in my wedding.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's a testament to friendship and a bond that was formed, and it still lasts till this day.
I tell you one thing, Chuck. Not to interrupt you, I apologize. One thing that kind of
Okay.
helped us was the fact that we were poor, and didn't have much, and I mean we used to play penny poker, 5 cent ante, and it got
Yeah.
serious.
Yeah.
Five,
Yeah.
yes, it got
Especially
serious.
this dude, especially Charles at the top. He gets serious about that poker, man. The pennies, yo, he
Man.
does not play about the pennies. Yo,
Man,
I'm like, yo,
that
Charles,
dude,
let me get 20 pennies. He's like, yo, man, I'll give you 10. I'm like, that's it.
that dude has been competitive since
Yo.
I met him. Man.
Yeah.
For real,
yeah.
yo, for real.
Oh my God.
He was not playing. He would hide pennies from me. I'm like, yo, where you see the pennies at? He's like, why you need to know, brother? I'm like, damn, I didn't know. I might need a handful. He's like, nah, I'll get them for you. And then he goes, he go over to the secret wall and tap 3 times, and the wall pop open, and here come the pennies come out, and then he grab a couple, he wear them in his hand like, yeah, that's about 20. And here you go, man. That was exact change.
Hilarious.
Yo, Wayne.
Yeah.
Yo, tell us about Mike's suit that homecoming weekend, bro.
Yo,
Oh.
hey, before you
Yo.
the hell with my brother.
Yo. So listen. So so Mike and Charles were on campus that first year. We were all on campus
Wait.
first year, but after that,
Wait,
that first
of all, you gotta explain when they say tight suit. You gotta explain my body type.
I ain't even say it yet. I ain't even say that yet.
All right,
How you know I was gonna say that?
I'm saying you gotta let them know what I am because I'm proud of it. I'm proud to be a mesomorph.
So we was after the first year, every year after that, even though Mike went back to Connecticut, he made sure he came down for every homecoming, while we was on campus, and Charles would come up and all that. So this one year, I don't remember which year it was, but one year we had been talking about it, and Mike was like, "Yo, man, I'm gonna get the suit made. I got this, I got that. We gonna do this, we gonna do that." And so then he brought his boys down. He came deep, like 5 dudes from New Haven, and they came through. And then we was all getting ready that I guess it was that Saturday night after the game. We was going to one of these parties, and Mike, everybody did their thing, and Mike put his Mike put his joint together, and it didn't fit the same.
No,
He's like, damn. You remember that show, A Christmas Story? I can't put my hands down. It was bananas.
no, it looked good on paper. When I laid out on the bed, it looked good as hell. I was like, yeah, this is tight right here. I didn't really know
The girl's gonna be
really tight.
You thought you was gonna have. You thought.
No, when I said it was
You thought you was gonna have a chick sweating you, didn't you?
No, I was sweating under my arm because that shit was too tight. It was tight as hell under my arm, under my armpit. I ain't even go. Yo,
Can you imagine Mike doing the Cabbage Patch
no,
with that suit on?
Bruh, I couldn't even do the WAP. That's how tight my shit was. I was like, yo, I did more of the rope-a-dope than the WAP and shit. I tried to do the WAP and I could just do the rope-a-dope because I couldn't even move my shit. I was like, yo, the hell with that.
Yeah, we ended up going to the mall, right? Get some new gear for you. I said we had to end up going to the mall to get some new gear for you, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yo, crazy.
Yo, what you I can say about my brothers? Listen, all I know is that my brothers didn't give up on me because I wasn't going. I was mad as hell. I was getting Joan down. I couldn't take it. I was getting barraged by Jones. Even Charles usually don't get on me, but yo, he got on me. He said the best thing about your suit is your shoes. I was like, yo, he hurt me. Yo, it hurt me hard because I was gonna cry then because he said about my. He said, "Best thing about your suit was your shoes." I was like, one of them Indian commercial tears came down. I was like, really, Tom? And I ate the
Oh,
tear. I was like, okay, all right, I'll take that.
Hey, so I think that's a perfect segue into wardrobe malfunctions. So does
Oh,
anybody
go ahead.
want to talk about my faux pas when I went up to Connecticut?
I'll speak on it if no one else wants to.
Go ahead, Wayne.
So, yeah, so we mentioned that Mike would come down for every homecoming, and Charles would come, and Charles would be there too. But in the meantime, summers and other times, we would journey up to New Haven. Um, I lived in New York at the time, like on the summers, and then they come through New York, and then we go up to Connecticut, cook out, cook out in the park up in Bridgeport, New Haven, wherever. Go to old ass Elks Club. Then one night we was going out, and Chuck, Chuck, in his infinite wisdom, he ain't tell nobody nothing. He just showed up with some bright ass yellow pants.
Whoa. Okay, first of all, right?
No,
There's like, what the hell?
Okay,
highlighted yellow. There was highlighted yellow.
okay.
Look like
First
the
of all,
sun, kid.
it was the early '90s, and all right, and the shit was in style.
Oh,
Let me ask you a question.
No,
Whoa.
I can't do that.
no.
Do that. I can't remember one decade where yellow pants were in style, bro.
They look, yeah. Hey, if that's what helps you sleep,
yo.
but nobody else had them on, so it was your own style.
But listen,
That's right. I'm a
Yo.
trendsetter,
you
goddamn.
know what though?
But
What
nobody
it is-
followed.
Yo, but the thing about it is, once again, with true friendship, all everybody did was let's look at Chuck when he came into the way. I was like, how these look? Everybody was like, yo, they was straight. Yo, they straight. Yo, they cool. Nobody said nothing. Nobody
Until we got out.
afterwards. But yo, your boys is with you. They was like, yo, that'll go. That'll go.
And look, but look, here's the funny thing. So we go wherever we going, right? And so I'm with my boys. Everything's cool. Here's what I noticed. So we out walking and everything, and I look, ain't nobody walking next to me. Fuck y'all. I mean, it's 5 of us, but it's like 4 and 1. I was like, oh, okay. I see what it is. And look, I said, okay, I'm just gonna shine bright by myself. Fuck y'all. And
Shine bright.
that's right. I was ahead of Rihanna. I was shining bright like a diamond, bitch, way before. So look.
Hey, but once again, nobody said anything. We was with you.
That's right. That's right. But wait a minute. Wait. So look, we went. I don't know where we went. So me and Charles, we came up there. Now, this was Charles had just gotten this brand new 240. Was it a 240?
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
Nissan.
240 black
Nissan.
Nissan. Hey, look, man, the thing was pretty. It was
What?
clean. So we went to this party, and we were just chilling. We weren't, you remember, we weren't trying to do nothing. We were just standing there chilling. No big deal. We ain't from around here. So this girl walks up and she starts talking to me and she says, "Oh, nice car. Is this your car?" Well, yeah, it is. Man. Let me tell you something. I couldn't even see Charles, but I could feel the eyes on the back of my neck. This dude, Charles, is light skinned, high yellow. This dude was every shade of deep red. He was hot. He was on fire. So look.
Says you got to take one for the team. I took one for the team. Goddamn.
No. Oh, okay. You talk that shit now. He did not take one for the team. He did not handle that shit well. He was real salty. So wait. Now I will say this: in the moment, he was cool, right? Okay. It's my boy's car. You had to see his face though. He was saying it, but his face was saying something else. As soon as this bitch walks away, I'm tearing this nigga's ass up. That's what his face was saying. All right. So didn't think anything. I swear to God, I didn't think anything of it. Blew her off. He was standing right there. It was no big deal. She complimented the car. I said, yeah, it was mine. That was it. Okay. Man, after the joint was over, we got in the car. Silence. This dude, silence. He wasn't saying nothing. I was
Nah,
like, so
nah,
wait, so wait. Evidently, the silence was either too much for him. The fact that I didn't say nothing, but so it, man. Look, he was like, "Hey, look, man. You know how long it took me to get a car like this? I had to hear this shit for at least 15 minutes. Nigga, I bought this car. It took me. I saved my money. I went to school. Nigga, you ain't do shit. The only thing you did was ride shotgun.
man,
Man,
you
this
lied.
dude, this
You lied.
dude cursed me out for 15. And look, the only thing I could do was just sit there and take it. That's all I could do. Oh,
Man,
yeah, okay, you right. Yeah, well, sometimes I think you just gotta be mad. Yep,
Listen,
yeah.
hey, I just want to go back to something because Steph's sitting there all calm. I just want to let you know that Steph had a lot of patience with me in the hallway because Steph had the back then it was a what was it called, a phone card.
Yeah.
Steph
Okay.
people hooked him up with a nice phone card. So every time we get on the phone, I was jealous because I didn't have a phone card, and I would walk by. I would walk by the phone booth and say, "Your phone, ya? I want to bone ya." When he was on the phone,
I used to catch hell
hey,
for that.
yo, he was on the phone. He was on the phone. This girl named Euphonia from back in the day, from Brandywine, whatever he knew her. Anyway, I would went by like 20 times. Euphonia, I want to bone ya. And Steph's like, Mike, please, Mike. Yo, Steph been a gentleman all his life because he could have just came out there and just karate kicked me in the ribs or whatever he wanted to do. He just came out. Could you please stop, brother? Please.
But check this
Yo,
out though. But
yo,
check out how bad Mike is though.
what?
Steph was on the second floor. Mike had to go all the way down the second floor to cause problems. He wasn't even in the
Yo,
floor.
so Steph
That
is
is true.
Steph is apologizing. He cussing me out nicely, but he's apologizing on the phone. Excuse me, baby. Hold on a second, Mike. Could you stop, please? Your phone. I want to bone ya. So I just want to let
And
you
I
know
go
that my
for it.
boy Steph sitting in the cut, but Steph got the patience of a saint. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
He put up with me. He been putting up with me for years. So this started way back.
Hey,
Oh,
I got a college memory that I definitely want to share with the viewers. Or listeners, I'm sorry. You guys remember the time we did the panty raid?
Oh man.
Let me set the stage. All right.
Forgot about that.
Yeah, so mainly was the guys from Cumming Hall. We decided, hey, let's see if we can, go see the ladies late at night. Just after curfew and whatever. So we decided to, go across the bridge, from Cummins over to Harper Tubman, where some of the female dorms were, and all of a sudden, somehow, the cops found out that we were trying to get in. So we all haul ass and go down to O'Connell, which was down the bottom of the hill. And we try to get in. We know the cops are coming. Guess who got in? Me and one other dude. So we know the cops are we know the cops are outside or whatever. So we're like, okay, all right. Let's. Matter of fact, I had some homework I needed to work on anyway with one of the young ladies. So I'm sitting in there. Next thing I know, knock on the door.
There you go, Steph.
Yes, and I'm like, oh my god.
Homework. You stuck homework in there, really?
Yeah. I was trying to do some homework,
All
but
right.
yes.
uh,
But anyway, so I am
biology.
probably the only one in this group that have had silver bracelets put on them uh, while in college. Luckily, I survived that, and the president allowed me to, because we didn't do any damage. We just
Right.
being young kids. But still, I'm the only one that got caught. The hell, and one other dude. The hell?
That was funny.
Damn,
Oh
that's
hey, did
my
you
funny.
call
god!
your
No, what happened was, Steph, if to tell the truth,
Steph
everybody got in.
got his papers.
Everybody got in. Well, hold on. Everybody got in, but then when the cops were coming, everybody ran out.
Yeah,
Steph said, "Yeah, I'm gonna be doing home. I'm doing homework. I don't know what's wrong with y'all."
All
So
right.
he thought he was gonna get away. He was gonna get away on that.
yeah,
Nobody else went for that. People
Yeah.
was jumping out of windows and everything.
You
yes.
see these lady fingers right here. I said deuces, Steph. You see that? I said deuces with these lady fingers.
All right, so now let's fast forward. That's college, and then what's the next major event that happened after that? It was probably me, right? Getting married,
I think was it
because that was in
Wayne?
1990.
Yeah. No, I think that was next. Yep.
Yeah, so I got married, and you guys were gracious enough to be in my wedding. And yo, do y'all remember the bachelor party?
Oh man,
Or
Yeah,
what is
you,
the
listen,
bachelor party, Mike?
listen. That was a hell of a
yes,
bachelor party. Listen,
yes.
listen. I know that the etiquette lights turned on, but that was a hell of a bachelor party because I woke up with my forehead against the sliding glass window. It was cold as hell with no blanket, and I knew that was a hell of a bachelor party. I said, if I wake up with my forehead against the cold glass sliding glass door, I knew it was on like butter popcorn. I can't remember what
So
else happened after that, but I had a hell of a time.
so we're not gonna go into the details of the bachelor
Oh,
party,
please
but but I'll say this: my fiance came in the next morning with a
Oh,
couple of her
oh,
girls.
she was
Oh,
mad
y'all remember
as
that?
hell.
Oh my! Okay, first of all,
I was scared for you. I was scared for you. That's
dude,
what I can say. I was scared because
dude,
Chuck was scared. Yo, because listen, we get on Chuck about his lip, but his lip was quivering that day. Like, yo, man, listen, this is what I'm gonna say.
and
This is
look,
what I'm
you're
gonna say.
not lying. You're not lying because look, she came in and she still remembers having to step over a sea of empty liquor bottles and
What?
beer cans and I mean stuff that I don't even drink. You know, she's like, "What Russian? What? Where did this come from?" So
Oh
yo,
yeah, I forgot about the rest.
so look, so then look, Charles is the one that caught hell because he was the best man, and
Yeah,
so she was like, look. And look, if y'all don't know, when my wife drops her voice, you know, it's not the high tone you got to worry about. It's when she drops and she was like, "Hey, look, Charles, uh, I don't know what the fuck went on here last night, and I don't care.
hmm hmm
All I want is for you to make sure that he's at the altar, he's on time, and he's awake. All right. If that doesn't happen, there's gonna be some furniture moving. That's all I'm saying. So,
Yeah, it was real.
so look, so
Yeah,
look.
I was afraid to
If,
move.
if, if, if Charles didn't do nothing else,
Yo,
he was gonna make sure the one I got there and then I was awake.
that
hell yeah.
hey, that was one Chuck. That was one of the first times I played dead around my friends. Like when she came in, I was about to get up, but she started talking. I was like, I'm gonna just lay here like I'm passed out. Cause yo, if she started punching people, I just hope she be too tired to hit me on the ground.
And look, but the wedding, the ceremony, all that. I mean, it was the struggle of all struggles. All of us trying to stay awake, upright.
Hungover. Yo, that
Oh
hungover
my
was
god!
crazy.
Oh, but wait, we got to go back. So that night when we went out, okay, first of all, we some stuff we can say. All right, so we went out and we were supposed to go to a strip club. You know, bachelor party. That's what we're supposed to do, right? My cousin, who was one of the groomsmen in my wedding, this Negro gets drunk, and all he wants and all he wanted the entire trip was to see some ass. That's all he wanted. You know, hey look, he didn't give a shit about the wedding. Hey look, I'm in your wedding, I love you, cuz. But hey look, man, when we going to the strip club. That's all he talked about since he came down there. So look, we got drunk, we went out, and I don't know what happened. We went to the strip club, but I don't know if you remember, we ended up going to another strip club. So we went to the second strip club, and then that's when it just all popped off. He wants to fight me out in front of the strip club. And y'all were like, whoa, what the hell? So finally I was like, it's my cousin. He's drunk. I can't hit him. I can't fight my cousin. Not to mention he was a big dude. He probably would cry. I didn't want to fight him anyway. But look, so what did I do? We jumped in the car and we left him. Y'all remember we just left my cousin from
I was there.
yeah.
I was
Remember
left
that?
too.
No,
I
I
was in
don't
the
remember
wrong
that.
car.
I don't remember that
Oh,
one.
you were with him?
I was with him.
Oh,
Yo. So it was like me and like there's like four of us. I don't know who the other dude. I can't remember who else it was.
yeah.
But one car left, and we didn't know where the hell we was going. It took us like hours. By the time we got back, he was sober as hell. But
Because I left him because he's family. I can't fight him. His mother's gonna be in the church tomorrow. My mother's gonna be in the church tomorrow. That's not
yeah,
gonna go too well. And I can't stand up there with black eyes, you know.
it's
So
not good luck.
right,
Not good
right.
luck.
So it was either fight my blood or let him fend for himself and sober up and see the error of his ways. Now I apologize because in the heat of the moment, brother, I didn't know. I didn't know.
No, we was
I
we was
forgot
in
about
multiple
that.
cars. We was in multiple cars, and so I
I forgot
just
about
remember
that.
we was trying to find your place for like ever.
Yeah.
It's
Hey,
like, yeah, it's over here. Nah, it was one of your boys, one of your other boys that was from there was giving us direction and didn't know the
Oh,
hell he
Yo,
was going.
that was the
it was
night.
a dude that
That
me
was the
and
night we
Charles
got the
worked
gun
with.
pulled on us, was it?
Nah. That's graduation.
Oh, okay,
Another night.
okay.
I think it was a dude that me and Charles used to work with. I can't remember his name, but he had like big ass teeth. That's all I remember.
Well, he didn't know where the hell he was. I thought he was from Maryland, but he apparently wasn't.
Yeah, he was, but he was just that dude. He didn't get out much, man. If you drop him off in the city, if you get him back to a main road, he may be able to get home back in the day.
So he wasn't like
But he,
Steph. He didn't have his GPS. We had our own GPS. We had Steph back in the day.
man, let me tell you something, Stefan, you can
Steph
drop this dude
Steph
anywhere.
got Google in his blood because back in the day, we get lost. Steph said, "Let me tell you something. You got to find the landmark. Where's the landmark?" Steph know what the landmark was. Steph put east
You
and
gotta
west and said, "Nope, we got to go across the bridge. That's where we at. That's where our mistake was. We missed the turn." I'm like,
right.
listen, I
And
love
look,
Steph.
when you
Steph
ask
know
him
his
why,
stuff, man.
and look, when you asking why, because there's no moss on the side of the tree. You
And,
can't
and,
go that way.
hey, and listen, not including had to pull over and drink the fast moving water.
All right, okay. So can we tell the story? We got to tell the story,
Go ahead,
Stefan.
tell us. Go ahead, tell us story.
All right, so we go up to Mike's place in Connecticut. I don't know what year it was. It was I think I'm married at the time, or whatever. We up in Connecticut. And Stefan, Mr. Soldier dude, let me give him his props and let me shout him out right now. As a matter of fact, April 21st, 1990 is when I got married. April 22nd, 1990 is when Stefan shipped out
Left.
to the military. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, that's when he left for the military. And
Yep.
that's why I can remember that date because he stood up for me on the 21st, and then he stood up for his country on the 22nd. So, brother, I love you for that, and I appreciate you for your service.
Thanks,
Fact.
sir.
But what were we talking about?
The water.
Pissing in the stream.
Yeah. So we were up there at Mike's place, and Mr. Soldier dude, Stefan, we were out by the creek or whatever, and Stefan,
No,
I don't know how to.
we're going down the basketball court, and he saw the creek over
We,
there.
we was in
Okay.
the park.
Yeah.
All right. And so I don't know how the conversation comes up, but he was like, yeah, man, I guess we were thirsty for playing ball, I guess. And he was saying, well, drink some water out the creek. And of course, we look at him like, you lost your damn mind. He said, nah, man, Mr. Soldier dude, nah, man, if you or military trick, water running over rocks, rocks purifies the water. So it's perfectly fine to drink from. So, oh yeah, what, for real? All right, well, show us. You try it. So, okay, not a problem. So Stefan, he heads on down and then just sip out the stream. Meanwhile, I swear I don't know if it was me or Charles. I think it was me because it was you. Okay, because it sounds like some shit I do. But Charles' ass goes upstream and starts peeing in the water. So Stefan's downstream, and he's like, yeah, it's purified as long as it go over. Oh, we're gonna find out today. We're gonna find out today. And he's like, what? What? It's totally fine. Oh, Charles up there snickering and laughing, and Stefan got a mouthful of piss water.
In my defense, I did not hear that conversation about the running water and it being good to drink. I was just up there taking a leak, man.
That's true. That is true. Charles was on the other side of the bridge. We didn't see him. He was hiding on the other side of the bridge. He didn't know that we was having a conversation about fast moving water.
So Stefan, I would not purposely put pee in your mouth, bro.
I appreciate it.
Meanwhile, Stefan got hepatitis. and doesn't know how the hell he got it. All right, man. So you can't have the good without the bad. And there was a couple of years in there where we kind of went our separate ways, and at least me, I was kind of absent from the group, and I missed out on some things. But here's what they say about true friendship: if you go away, or if you're away for an extended period of time, and you come back, and you just pick up where you left off, like nothing ever happened, that's a sign of real friendship and true friendship, and that's pretty much what happened with us. So this is this I got you guys jump in here, help me out here. So you guys tell me, where do we go from here? What's next? I mean, we've been doing this for the longest time. What's next?
Well, let me jump in first. I probably have been the one that's been gone the most, being in the military.
Yep.
But and you meet people in the military, you deal with them. Some are friends, some are colleagues and associates. But one thing I could always count on was to call back to the states or call within the states and talk to my boys. And that helped tremendously. I mean, I'll never forget being in Iraq in 2000. Let me see, 2004. I had just started playing golf. I still can't play worth a darn to this day, but we had a place where we could hit balls and hit balls and actually aim at a house. And so I passed it on to Charles. Next thing I know, about a month later, I had a box of balls. I mean, that's what true friendship is all about. And so, where do we go from here? Oh, the sky's the limits. As our kids are getting older, we have less of that responsibility, but we still have each other. And one great thing about us, we try to get together as often as possible. And Mike right now is the only one that's distant from us, in a general sense. But we still try to get together and have fellowship, and that's so important
Right.
for any friendship, and definitely ours.
It
Yeah.
is. It definitely is.
I would
I'm
like
sorry. You want
that.
to say something?
I would like to add to that, Chuck. I would say that after 30 plus years of friendship, we've been through some ups and downs with each other, man. We've been there for each other no matter what. I mean, we worried about Steph over there, in the army, in the war. And, we worried about, we all went through our different things with family relationships and things like that. But we stuck together. Even though we took a step back, we always knew that people were there for each other. And I think that's important. And, even my brother Chuck, he had to slide off for a minute, but he came back, but he was there. He was there. And I just think that I don't know what I would do, man. You some good brothers, man. And that's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I the whole purpose of this was to allow our listeners to get better insight into who we are. And I think we've given them a little taste of that. I think as we go forward, some other things will be revealed about us, like some of our inside jokes and things like that. And and for our listeners, you guys need to stay tuned and tune in for that stuff because it's interesting where a lot of these inside jokes came from, and I think you guys will really appreciate it. But friendship is universal, and there are if there's any professionals out there that would like to contact us about friendship and maybe join us on a podcast to talk about some things in the future, we'd love to have you. For the listeners that are out there, please tune into our social media. Check us out. You can find us on all the major social media. If you have any questions or comments, please hit us up so we answer all of our content, and we'd love to hear from you. This is Just Be a Man. We are so glad that you guys tuned in, and look for us to release new content weekly. And that's it, guys. You got anything you want to say?
Yeah, I'd like to say a couple of things real quick. And we had a lot of fun talking through the things that we talked through. And I think as we started going down this podcast journey, one of the things that we realized is that the friendship that we have um, is a little bit unique. Everyone can't really say that they have this kind of a friendship. And so we kind of, in some ways, I don't want to say take it for granted, but we don't acknowledge how different or special it is. So we thought that as we came together, we thought it made a lot of sense to just let people understand kind of who we are as a group, as a unit. And so the ideal of this podcast was really to help us kind of draw a little closer to each other and just kind of speak some things out. As it was mentioned before, we like to get together as often as we can, but that doesn't happen as often as we would like. So what this podcast has allowed us to do is to talk way more often and to just kind of have a subject to go through. So we're really enjoying this, and we're hoping that the listeners are getting something out of it. I just want to be clear. The ideal of this podcast is to make sure that we give wisdom based upon our knowledge. So we're telling you everything from our perspective. So obviously, none of us are clinical professionals, and none of us have degrees in any of this stuff. This is just our life experience.
Right.
And so, as Chuck said earlier, feel free to comment. Tell us where we got it wrong. tell us if we got something right too. There's no bad comments, and so we want anyone and everyone to listen to this. We call the show "Just Be a Man," but if women can get something out of this, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Maybe a little insight as to how your child or your husband, or maybe they're the same person. I don't know, but if you can get some insight and into the way we think. So I think we're a fair representation of our generation. So that's what we're speaking from. And again, feel free to leave comments, post questions, and anything like that on all forms of social media. And we really appreciate everyone. And thank you for listening.
Deuces.
Thank you. God bless.
Thanks for joining us this week on the Just Be a Man podcast. Be sure to check us out on social media, where you can subscribe to our show and/or leave a comment. We will love to receive your feedback. Also, remember to tune in next week for more meaningful discussion. Until then, we wish you peace and blessings.